Quapple trying to get underneath Schrader so he can get a lap back, so he's digging hard.
We're working lap 263 this time. 263 are complete. Schrader, Mears, and Newman all last stopped on 221. We were talking about 30-lap tires not being too good against fresh rubber. We're going to find out. Elliott Sadler in the 19 took 2 tires. Robbie Gordon in the 7. 2 tires on his stop.
So Quapple and Jarrett are now on the lead lap. Thanks to getting by Kenny Schrader.
Boy, and it is a mess behind these guys. Look at that. Here comes Kyle Busch inside of Mears.
He's been able to get by the 12 car of Newman by Mears.
And he'll blow by Schrader here with those 4 fresh tires. '21-year-old Kyle Busch back to the lead. Tony Stewart runs 19th. Jeff Gordon is in 24th. Right now, Stewart in that 20 car, 11th, 9 points behind Casey Kane. An update on the 20 from Matt.
And you're watching Tony Stewart up in the left-hand corner of your screen now. Up on top of his pit box, team manager Jimmy Makar, as well as engine tuner Jared Egan. They do have some concern just because of the other issues that a couple of the Gibbs cars are experiencing. When the instant message popped up, motor issue from the 11, you could see not only are they concerned about trying to lock themselves in, currently 11th right now in points at this part of the race, lap 267. But, you know, a lot of times we've seen when one corporate teammate has a motor issue, we've seen it carry on to another teammate, so there is concern.
Thank you, Matt.
And that's position. Elliott Sadler in that 19 car.
Ooh, it's ugly here.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh.
Mark Martin in the 6, Denny Hamlin in the 11. Mark just got 9th. Let's get an update on Hamlin from Dave.
And Bill, they decided to stay out this time. Competition director Jimmy Makar was on the line with him. Denny said the sputtering is back and it's bad. And by the way, remind the guys behind me on the restart not to run over me. He got a good restart, and so far hasn't said anything. The car appears to be still racy.
This is big for points right here. Burton, Hamlin, Kenseth is there. Martin's right in front of him. Right now, Jeff Burton 10th in the championship standings. With Burton. Denny Hamlin enjoying an outstanding first full year in the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series. And this weekend he told us being a rookie has some advantages when it comes to trying to make the chase.
I think my inexperience with this whole chase format, it's almost been a benefit to me more than it has anything. You know, a lot of these guys I'm racing have been in this situation before and kind of know how to treat it. And I'm just the guy who's kind of just going for broke all the time. So, you know, it's really great that we're in a position that we are to be able to fight for this chase. And I think if we can get in, we're going to be a contender.
Benny, you know the guys on that crew would love to see their driver get them into the chase because of how much they enjoy working for him.
Oh, they love that young man. Even last year when they first started driving the car, you walk by those guys and you could just see the enthusiasm on their faces.
Dave?
And they bonded earlier this year over a unique situation, Bill. Remember the test at Charlotte where Denny was goofing around after they got done with it and ripped his left pinky finger nearly off. The ride to the hospital, the moving of Denny's car back to his house, trying to find Denny's house. These guys have a lot of stories from that experience, and Denny was motivated that day, actually the next week, to race here at Richmond, and that improved their relationship with their young driver. Just something weird that happened, and they all lived it together.
Everybody at Richmond chasing Kyle Busch. Casey Kane, Kevin Harvick, Dave Blaney, and Ken Schrader, the top 5. BP.
There must be some information out there we need to give to the fans, so let's cue the duck.
For the Aflac trivia question. Aflac's going to get hurt one of these days. Who was the last to win Richmond's September race and the championship in the same year?
Jeff Gordon.
Go back a little bit further.
Oh, yeah?
Got a guess, Wally? Say
Nope,
something.
I don't.
Here it is. Dale Earnhardt back in 1990.
Man, that was a few days ago, wasn't it?
Our Aflac trivia question. Aflac. Now there's Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Got a bumper. Somebody got into him, and he's got some pieces hanging out the back there.
Pieces hanging off. Never good.
No, it's not good. That's a metal piece, too, sticking out. I think thought he was clear.
They went at it for a few laps out there, didn't
Yeah, they were going at it pretty hard.
Were you watching that, Marty?
Yeah, they were going at it pretty hard, and then for a while the 12 car was holding up the 8 car. Junior talking on the radio right now about the contact. He asked if the metal was hanging off and NASCAR might say anything about it. The car for Junior gets better the longer they run. Clearly fast and going to the front. They're not too worried about that metal. They're hoping NASCAR's not either.
No, but I wouldn't want to run into it right now. That's a radiator killer.
Yeah. But if somebody hits him again, then he might have trouble with it hanging off. Closing in on the 100 to go mark here at Richmond. Kyle Busch out front, the 26th race of the NASCAR Nextel Cup season. The final race to determine the drivers that will chase for the 2006 NASCAR Nextel Cup Championship. And look at that. That's race leader Kyle Busch.
And not good for Jeff Gordon, because Jeff Gordon looks up in his mirror and he's about to get lapped by his teammate Kyle Busch.
Matt?
Bill, his magic number right now, he has a 48-point cushion over Tony Stewart, who sits back in 11th. The 24 car can lock himself in if he can gain one spot and just hover there for the rest of the night. Meanwhile, it just continues to take a turn for the worse for the 20 of Tony Stewart. Rarely does he talk on the radio unless the car is bad, and he's been doing a lot of talking. The car is so loose on entry, very tight to center, and just gives up so much on exit. He has told Greg Zipadelli that several times. He is formulating his game plan for what could be their final stop and have one last big swing in trying to get this car dialed in so they can get this car in the chase. Right now, they are definitely in the danger zone.
Yeah, they're about 3 seconds is all that's between Tony Stewart from being lapped by this guy right here, Kyle Busch in the 5 car.
And Stewart is 11th right now, as Matt pointed out. 30 points out of the chase.
And Jeff Burton has slid back to the 10th spot. And you know, but we've seen this a lot in the last 4 or 5 races where Burton has been dominant at the first part of the race. And Alan, it seems like when they get down to where it counts, they run into problems.
Right now, Wally, they are chasing track conditions. This car has fought a lack of front-end grip all night. And as they've adjusted to try and deal with that, it seems like the pendulum has swung over the top, because now it's the back end that's sliding around on this 31 car. Right now they are still in championship position, but they're back in 10th place, and they could use another pit stop to make some more adjustments on this car to feel a little bit better about things.
And Jeff Burton even brought it up himself on the countdown to green about people talking about Indy and Bristol, saying there's more to it than that. But we'll see what happens tonight. You've got to finish Strowman and Tony Stewart. I'm sorry.
Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch continues to lead. Casey Kane runs second. Got a little excited there because Tony Stewart continues to struggle and has been knocked off the lead lap.
Yeah, now he's not even the first car. Well, I mean, after the 5 car gets by Robbie Gordon. That's the thing about when you get a guy hooked up here at Richmond. You know, they're lapping guys every single lap. And I know Tony Stewart wants to stay in the bumper of that 5 in case the yellow comes out. But he's already lost that opportunity being the lucky dog. The yellow comes out right to second.
Because Robbie Gordon just fell off the lead lap. So it's Kyle Busch, Casey Kane, Kevin Harvick, Dave Blaney, Earnhardt Jr., the top 5.
Oh, a little bit of contact there between the 5 and 99.
Robbie Gordon gets sideways, turning down to avoid the 99, getting off the 4.
Stewart gets trapped in there behind Robbie.
Now Stewart needs to get by Robbie. And he knows that.
Yes. By the time that's over, Kyle Busch will probably have lapped Elliott Sadler.
Right. Speeds at the line. We'll see what we've got here. It's a little tough to do this on the short tracks because if you get one guy that's in traffic, it's not going to represent really what his lap times are. But that lap, Mark Martin was the quickest.
And my hat's off to Mark Martin because he struggled with his race car, but they've made Pat Tryson, the crew chief, they made some adjustments on that car. And the last 150 laps, he has driven that car as hard as anybody could ever drive a race car.
He's up to 7th spot right now.
You talk about hearing the passion and pressure in somebody's voice. Mark in the pre-race show,
yeah, Mark
was inspiring. Marty?
Well, somewhere in this mix is Mark Martin. There he is, Bill, and he's asked several times about Tony Stewart. They did just inform him that Stewart went a lap down. Pat Tryson has made several aggressive changes to the 6 car, and they've made it better. Several changes to make the car looser. The track seems to be getting looser as well. Mark said, I don't know if I can stand to be much looser than I am right now, but let's do it. One more step, a pound out of both left side tires. Pat said, that's as low as we can go on those left side tires, but we'll do it if you think that's the way the track is going.
85 laps to go. Kyle Busch continues to lap cars here at Richmond. Casey Kane is second, Harvick is third.